So, if you're in the world of radiology, you know there's one final gatekeeper standing between you and becoming a consultant. It's the FRCR 2B exam. And it's so much more than just a test. It's the ultimate challenge. So what does it really take to conquer it? Well, let's break it down.
This right here, this is the question the examiners are asking themselves with every single image they put in front of you. Are you just spotting things on a screen, or are you actually thinking like a doctor, a clinician? The entire FRCR 2B exam is built to figure that out, to see if you can be a true clinical partner.
And look, that's really what it all boils down to. You can't just memorize a textbook and expect to pass. This is a test of your professional judgment, how you hold up when the pressure is on, and whether you can perform when a patient's care really depends on it.
Okay, so what does this final gauntlet actually look like? Let's pull back the curtain on the exam itself so you can really understand how it's designed to push every single skill you've been working on. Yeah, everything, and I mean everything, in this exam comes down to these three things. Can you see the problem? Okay, great. But do you get what it actually means? And then, can you communicate that clearly to another doctor? That's the whole ballgame.
All right, so to really put you to the test on those three skills, the exam is broken down into three completely unique trials. Each one is its own beast. And you know what? You can't have a weak spot. You've got to be solid on all three if you want to pass.
Yep, three demanding parts to this exam. And there's really nowhere to hide. You've got to perform start to finish.
And here they are, your three trials. First, the reporting session. That's kind of like your day job. Then, rapid reporting, a pure test of speed and accuracy. And finally, the one everyone talks about, the Viva, the oral exam, where you have to think on your feet.
All right, first up, the reporting session. Think of this as a simulation of your real day-to-day work. You have one mission here and one mission only. Produce a report that is crystal clear, perfectly structured, and actually useful to the referring clinician.
Now this slide is huge because it lays it all out. On the left, that's how you pass. Organized, decisive, to the point. On the right, that's how you fail. Being vague, missing something important, or just rambling on about stuff that doesn't matter. The difference really is just clarity and confidence.
Okay, trial number 2. This is where things get fast. We're talking about rapid reporting. This is a high-speed, high-stakes test of your pattern recognition and, honestly, your ability to keep your cool.
Just let that sink in for a second. 30 cases, mostly plain x-rays, and you've only got 35 minutes to get through them. That's a little over a minute for each one to make a call, normal or abnormal. It is intense.
And this quote, it says it all. This is the mindset you need. There's literally no time to second-guess yourself. You have to trust what you see, make the call, and then immediately move on. Hesitation is your worst enemy in this part of the exam.
And that brings us to the one everyone dreads, the most famous or maybe infamous part of the FRCR 2B, the Viva. This is the oral exam. You're sitting across from the examiners, talking through cases live. It's less about what's in your memory and way more about how you think.
But look, there's a secret to taming the Viva, and it's all about structure. You follow these 4 steps for every single case. First, just describe what you see. Then, tell them what you think it means. Next, talk through the other possibilities. And finally, land on a confident conclusion. This little framework will be your lifeline.
So here's what you've got to understand. The examiners don't expect you to be a genius who knows everything. They just want to hear you think out loud. They want to see that logical process. What they can't stand is wild guessing, panicked silence, or just pure arrogance. They're testing if you're safe, not if you have a big ego. Okay, we've seen the enemy. We know what the 3 trials are. So, how do you actually win? Let's put together the blueprint for your success.
Your training plan has to be relentless. It's not about cramming, it's about building muscle memory. That means writing full, timed reports every single day. It means drilling 20 to 30 rapids a day until you see the patterns in your sleep. And, this is critical, you have to practice your Viva answers out loud. And you need to do all of it under exam conditions.
And when you put in all that work, this is what you're really building. These 4 core skills. Everything you do in your prep is about getting better at structured reporting, sharpening your pattern recognition, mastering your time, and communicating with total clarity. But you can do all the practice in the world, but if your head's not in the right place on exam day, it's all for nothing. Let's talk about the final and maybe most important piece of the puzzle, your mindset. This might be the most important advice you'll hear.
You have to let go of this idea of being perfect. This exam isn't trying to find the one most brilliant radiologist on earth. It's designed to find a safe, competent, structured professional. Your goal isn't to be perfect, it's to be a safe pair of hands.
So at the end of the day, it's pretty simple. You need to start thinking like the consultant you're about to become. That means being clear in how you speak, being decisive in your conclusions, and making sure that every single thing you say actually matters to the patient. Because that's all this exam is really. It's that final checkpoint. And with the right prep and the right mindset, it's a checkpoint you can and absolutely will get through. So the only question left to ask is, are you ready?